love, sunshine, gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies, push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful...
Alright, welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. It is Thursday, large project night. For some reason, my laptop was not letting me get to Facebook for a second, but now it's working, so a few seconds extra to get it going tonight compared to normal. But we're still working on the chessboard. Hopefully going to get a lot more done in the weekend. I'd like to finish it up within 2 more weeks is kind of my plan. What I'm hoping for anyway. I'm going to be ordering my rings here pretty soon for my next larger inlay. So I'm hoping to start on it within 2 weeks. Not tonight, but 2 weeks after tonight. We're going to kind of see how that goes and all that. Like I said, I've been waiting on rings to get started on the next one. They finally have them in, so hopefully I'll get them ordered soon enough. But I hope everybody's having a good Thursday. Just kind of gonna go ahead and just start getting jumped in on this one here. Last night we did some anodizing instead of projects. It took me a lot longer than I was planning on it. There was something going off. I'm going to do a test setup again and do some more stuff. I didn't get everything done that I wanted to, and see if it still takes me that long or not. It was really weird, but I might do the setup. I want to do a setup outside. We had storms today, so I can use the multi-etch, so I can show color differences between using multi-etch and not using multi-etch when you go to anodize that stuff. But I mean, they still came out pretty good. I especially like my titanium balls. I had several different sizes of that, and they came out really, really good looking. I like these. So I got some pendants and earrings I'm gonna make out of these. Might do that next Wednesday. Not quite sure yet. Depends on kind of how this weekend goes and everything, and what I can get done this weekend. But before I get too far in it, don't forget to check us out on Twitch and YouTube. We got our channels there and here on Facebook. So you can go there and subscribe, like, and all that good stuff to all those. Share out the Facebook page. I'm trying to get to 300 likes on the page, so once we hit that, we're going to do some giveaways. Maybe multi-week giveaway type thing. You know, once a week, do a few things for a few weeks. Just trying to get us up to 300 likes there. Like I said, if I ever get to 500 likes, I plan on doing a bigger giveaway. Something large-ish. So get those shared out there. Get people to come over and come over and watch us do our live streams. I'm eventually going to add in some other videos with kind of how-tos on some things. As I've been playing with that a little bit here and there. I haven't really talked about it yet, but I've been trying to do some videos on instructions on some basic weaves. I just hadn't found a way I really like yet, so I just keep deleting the videos that I try. But eventually, hopefully that'll work out alright. 9, 4, and 5. So, and I also want to thank everybody that's made orders over the last month and a half, 2 months now running. We're getting quite a few orders a week, which is kind of nice to have. I will be taking one of my weekends here. I don't know if I'll get any this weekend, but I'm hoping the next weekend I can get in and do some major updating to my website itself. I want to get a picture gallery in there, and I want to start adding in a lot more stuff. I've got a few more small kits I want to add. I want to try to add I'd like to add in some more of my own stuff. I've got some tutorials I'm kind of going to work up. These will be, a few of them are going to be free tutorials because they're kind of basic stuffs. Still trying to find out if I've got one piece. I've got a couple pieces, but one that I've been looking for here lately. I'm trying to make sure it's not out there. Nobody's kind of done it before per se, or has a tutorial for it or anything. So I'm still looking on that, trying to find. I haven't found it yet, not meaning it's not out there. Sometimes it's hard to find those things. I don't necessarily want to post out to the chainmail groups to see if somebody knows the name of it per se, because sometimes you just never know what will happen if somebody will grab it and start doing it before you can get it done. So I kind of want to get further along in it before I eventually, if I ask that way, so it's kind of ready to go once I find out for sure. If not, I had that happen with my turbine earrings that I'd made, because I didn't see them in Jennifer Martinez stuff. She had her regular sized ones, and I wasn't sure how they were actually built, but I've made small turbine earrings with it, and they come out really good. And so I reached out to her before I went any further to make sure, and she said she's going to add it to her tutorial, which is fine. I mean, it is basically hers, and we kind of built them pretty much the same way. But you know, I didn't want to put that out there if it was the same build process and everything. So there's been several things like that where I think, you know, and then eventually, you know, I contacted her and had her look it over what I was doing, and so they're pretty much built the same way. I eventually got her tutorial anyway. Like I said, I pretty much figured it out, I guess, but I like to, before I sell any of my stuff like that, I hadn't done any pendant sized like hers. I'd done larger and smaller ones, but since it's kind of the same build with just different sizes, I didn't want to put that out there without first making sure. And so that's what I plan on doing with these other ones. About ready to go. I got 2 more that I've got that I'm still trying to see if they're out there anywhere. But when I add that, I'm going to add some class and some other things. I'm going to slowly start adding some rings to the website for sale and the kits. And then along with, like I said, I've only got probably a good, you know, the more I look, maybe 1/8 of what I actually sell on my website. So if there's anything you ever see on Facebook pages or something, pictures that I've done and they're not on the website, just contact me. That's how a lot of my things have been sold lately, is through contact saying, hey, I've seen this picture here, but I couldn't find it on your website. And we work out a way and send off PayPal invoices if needed. And if you're on the website, I've had one person having an issue trying to order through the website with PayPal. Only comes up when they try to go do the PayPal part. But I've had other orders coming through. So, I mean, if you're ever having any issues doing any ordering, just drop me a line. We'll work out a way. I try to fix anything that might be messed up if there is. If I can figure out why it's messing up. I know a couple months ago I was having issues, and finally figured out what that issue was and got it fixed. But, you know, on the side note, like I said, I can always do PayPal invoices for whatever you might need. I have people that just mail me money order checks and do an order that way. You can do that through the website too. Gives you the shipping address to send me. You get your order put in and ship off a money order or a check. You let the process happen, and we'll ship it out. So there are many ways. I'll work out almost any way to try to get you what you want. And if you got some idea of any kind of chainmail stuff that's unrelated to something you've seen a picture of mine or on the site for sale, just drop me a line. I'm willing to say, hey, yeah, I can try to do something like that. I don't ask for any kind of money up front on something new per se. It's something that I've kind of done, or I know what I need to do it. It's the same type of weave, but something a little different. That's a little different. Most custom orders I will ask for 50% up front, especially if it's more of a piece that I couldn't turn around and resell to somebody else. Like if I do an inlay that's got specific names or something in it, those definitely I take 50% up front on custom orders like that. But if it's something smaller, you know, and something I can add into stock and sell if you decide you don't want it, you know, it all just depends on the piece, really. But, like I said, just drop a line, let us know what you're looking for, and we'll see what we can do. More than willing to try to do anything like that. And, you know, sometimes if it's something new and biggish, you know, I might try to do it, and, you know, afterwards, if you want it and like it, you can get it. If not, like I said, if it's something that I think will be good for the booth and advertising it for the book box, then sometimes I'll do special deals like that for you. So you just gotta contact me and let me know what you're looking for. I try to make things a little neat for you in a way. You know, some first time people that order, I normally try to throw a little something in, depending on if you're a mailer or you're just the person buying. If you're a mailer, I try to throw in a few little extra doodads here and there. Don't do it with every order, but first orders I try to add a little something. And after that, sometimes a lot of it depends on what I have extra of. If you're a chain mailer person and you're getting supplies or kits, and like I said, if you're just kind of a person that's buying pre-made stuff, or I guess not pre-made, I'd make it all, but made stuff, you know, I still try to throw a little something in there depending. But, you know, I try to contact everybody, even on orders that are kind of automatic setup. I still try to contact and make sure I'm getting what you want. I don't want to send out something and I'm sure pretty much everybody, when they want something, I'll contact them by email to verify what they're looking for. And in other instances, you know, when people are doing that, if they're unsure, they want certain colors or whatever, I'm more than willing to get pictures and send them to you when they're done before we ship out to make sure you're happy with it. At least in your mind, what you thought you were getting, so you get what you're going to want. That's what I try to do. I had 4 or 5 hacky sack juggling balls ordered about a month ago now. You know, I wanted to make sure everything was going to be right in the order because there were so many of them. So I contacted them and everything, and they're extremely happy with everything. So that's all good once all said and done. And you know, if you have ordered something, you can go back to the website, leave reviews there. You can go to the Facebook page, leave reviews there. More reviews I can get, the better. Just so people know that they're going to get quality stuff. You know, there's a lot of people at events that are hesitant when they want to do orders because they're like, you know, I don't want to get screwed, you know, for lack of a better term. But I try to make everything always right. You know, I don't want to. I'm not that type of person, and I don't want to run that type of company. I try to make everything right. And most everything there, I kind of, if you ever need adjustments on anything, I'm willing to do that. If you break something that you bought from us, I normally will not charge for that, depending on how it was broke per se. I mean, if you just take it and start trying to rip it apart, that's a different story than if it gets snagged on something and you know, you have problems that way. And there's been a few things here and there that I have when I make them. I'm like, I can't guarantee this piece because they wanted it. The one that comes to mind right offhand is my earring crosses that I make. They use 20 gauge wire, but they wanted that size and a keychain. And I was like, I would normally say no, and I will say no from now on that size if somebody asked. But I said, you know, I just can't guarantee this one. This is a smaller gauge wire, and I just don't know if it's going to hold up to being a keychain compared to my normal ones. And I guess it ended up breaking. Now, I did offer them a normal sized one, and, you know, to cover for it. Didn't charge them for it. But there are certain things I'm like, I just don't know if I trust that. I haven't done it. But that one, I just had a feeling wasn't going to last very long as a keychain, which it didn't. Earrings are a little more delicate, so. But on occasion, that'll come across where I'll have to tell somebody, no, I just don't know if I can guarantee that type of thing. I'll still do it for you, but I don't, you know. If it's something else that I've done and feel pretty confident about, sometimes, I mean, there's accidents that happen, so that's why I'm more than willing to fix anything if somebody got broken. You know, at our events, I do free adjustments, and you can come back later, you know, if you bought it for somebody younger and they've grown and need it to be a bigger bracelet, I'm more than willing to add on to the bracelet and, you know, get it to the right size that they need for growing purposes, or vice versa. If you know, had one, you've lost weight or something, you need it shrunk back down, I'm more than willing to do that too. So just to let everybody know. You know what, it's Thursday night. I forgot to share this to my page. I normally try to only do it once a week so I don't clutter up my own feed on my personal page, but I really don't do a whole lot of posting on my own personal page per se. Did it share? No, okay. Well, hopefully I didn't share it twice. We'll see later on. I'll try to add it to my own personal page. Like I said, there are times where I get a lot of stuff I'll put on my personal page, other times not so much. I'm not a huge Facebook user for that, other than sending messages to family and whatnot, but I know there's a lot of people that have liked the Booga box that are also on my personal page, so on occasion I like to share it that way too. Some of you might be on my friends list that don't get notifications for the Booga box, so if you're like that, go in there and like the Booga box and get notifications from us so you know when we're live streaming and posting anything new that we might be doing or events coming up. Keep track of us through the Facebook page of the Booga box. 1, 2, 3. But I'm hoping to get some good work done on this weekend to get this kind of further along. We can get it finished up here pretty soon. It's not a real hard one to work on for the most part. I mean, it is an inlay, but pretty basic inlay. It's just repeating the same thing over and over again, so I just hadn't had a whole lot of time with the week before with our event and preparing for it, and then just kind of getting things organized after the event and doing the other stuff. I've gotten my welder out now, so I've been doing more welding on some things, which is time consuming in a way. Let me check if I got any chats anywhere. We're about 17 minutes in, so we're just going to kind of keep plugging along here. And like I always say before, if I ever miss any comments or anything and you had a specific question and I don't see it, don't get it answered, send me another message. I try to go back and catch those later just in case. But with all the, you know, internet of things, sometimes things can kind of get lost in the shuffle when I'm watching multiple screens trying to check everything, so I hate missing things. I know there's been a few times years ago, where I'd get messages through the Booga box, but it would come into the spam side because they weren't liked on the page. They hadn't liked the page, so they come through on the spam side. And I didn't see them till later on. Someone had contacted me after doing that and saying, I did get a reply back from you here, so I tried to send to your personal page, which is perfectly fine. Because like I said, if I don't ever reply to something, it's not because I didn't want to. It's normally because I didn't see it. Because I hate doing that. I hate whenever I try to contact people and I don't get replies. It's like, ugh. So that's one thing I've always tried to do, and try to keep it out there. And so just so everybody knows, you know, if I don't see it, it's not on purpose. Just send me another message, send it a different way. Because I don't want to do that. Don't want to be that kind of person. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the last of this colors before I flip back over going the other way. 6, 8, 9. On our way back down the other way, we'll be flipping our silver and bronze. Probably going to pull out the pieces next week so you can kind of see what the pieces I plan on putting with this look like. They're just normal metal pieces. They're not chainmail pieces for now. If you've watched any of these before, I'm working on making my own chainmail pieces for it, but that's really going to up the cost of it overall. But I want to kind of design them up, and something I've been wanting to do for years since I made the first checkerboard. But yeah, you can go check out, we've got the black and red normal style checkerboard. I made a Batman style one. I've got several other designed for different theme of things. I just haven't done them because I haven't sold them yet. But they're a little pricey, but I mean, they can take a while. These normally take me about 24, 27 hours depending. Now this one I don't have all the pieces to make with it, so it should go a little quicker. I mean, I've actually only got, let's see, I want to say maybe 6-ish hours in it. I'd have to go calculate it up and see where I'm at. But it doesn't have a whole lot of hours into it yet. Most of the time has just been during the stream. I've only gotten probably another hour and a half to 2 hours outside of the stream done. Just because I've been so busy with other stuff, doing orders, etc. Like I said, orders come first, stream stuff. I want to have something to do during the stream, but now when it comes to the bigger inlays, I normally do get more time on those because I'm just prepared to do it that way, and I didn't have a whole lot going on before doing those. So, but now getting more orders and everything in, it does take me a little longer to do some of these. Now if you ordered an inlay, that'd be a different story. It'd be something I'd work on more constantly, kind of like the cheese flag. We streamed quite a few days a week when I first started streaming, doing that one. And you can go back and check out the videos from it for the cheese flag. I still love that thing. I miss it. Miss it dearly, but I'm glad it's got a good home, and Vicky enjoys it, so that's all that matters. But yeah, if you ever get something and you actually something bigger or even smaller, if it's something standard that I can throw in a stream, just say, hey, I'd like to get this, but can you stream it for me? If I need to, you know, if you're willing to wait a few days to get to a streaming day that we could stream it, and if it's a multi-stream thing, you know, maybe we just end up doing some special streams for it, I'm willing to do that. Because I remember when I got talking about the cheese flag, I was like, you guys mind if I stream it while I'm, you know, building it? I could do it quicker without the stream, but if you want me to stream it, you know, it might take a little longer, but can I get to see the process of it? I wish I had a better time lapse on that one like I did the homes, but that was still early in figuring all this stuff out, so it was always a little different there. And let's see, what else have we been going on today? We had storms like crazy this afternoon, man. It just ended up with a little bit of hail, and didn't lose any power though. Knock on some wood here. Where's my wood? I don't have any wood handy. What's up, man? I normally have something. Oh, here's some wood. It's like I gotta find some wood here. Like, I guess Sean over at Mail Works, they've been out of power. I don't know if it was storm related or why their power went out, but he was out for, I think he's still out now, over 24 hours. Again, I don't know if it was storm related, but we didn't lose power. I know I have some friends in town that lost power for hours to, well, I think there was one that lost it for a little more than a day from the storms we had the other day. Up here, north side of town, we didn't really get, we had some stormage, but nothing that was major. Today was a lot worse, but we still had power, so that was nice. But it was blowing like crazy, that blowing wind, and we had a little bit of hail for a little bit. Then it kind of died down. I guess the only good thing was 6, 8, 9. Kind of cooled down a little bit. It's supposed to, cold front hadn't quite made it through yet, but once that does, we're supposed to be like highs of mid 80s the next several days. So, oh, that'll be so much better than 100. And it might still feel like 90s, but I'll take that over the feeling of 109, 108. We had some hot days, so I'm looking forward to this nice cooler weather we're gonna have. That'd be kind of nice. I'd almost say get some things done outside, but there's supposed to be chances of rain all the time, so maybe I can get some done, but gonna have to do it in between rain spouts, I guess. Actually, the back door's open so the cats can go in and out in case it starts storming again. We're supposed to get some more rain. I don't think till after 10 or so our time, and it's just now coming up on 8, so still got a couple more hours before we're supposed to get more rain. But tomorrow's supposed to be kind of cloudy with off and on chances of rain. And I'll be looking forward to that fall weather. I'm ready for it. Like I said, I'm not a summer person. There's a lot of people who like summer. I don't have a problem with it, but I like the cooler weather myself. That's when I more thrive outside. You know, I don't mind mid-80s outside, even up to about 90, as long as the feels isn't much more than 90. I'm good, but after the feels get up past 90, boy, that's much. I still do stuff, all the band events that I do in the heat too, and I had to deal with that. But I know when I went to band camp, first week of band camp, it was hot in the mornings too. I come home after one morning there, my shirt was just soaked. It's like I didn't even do anything. I wasn't marching. I was trying to stay in the shade the best I could, but it was just hot, so I was sweating like crazy. And then the second week band camp was actually kind of nice. Start out the mornings in the mid-70s. Made a big difference. A little bit of sweating, but you know, because you're still standing out in the sun and all that. But 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess, you know, the school district here, where the school that I help out, they actually start up school on Monday, I guess. Not having a kid in school anymore is kind of strange, so I don't have all those dates in my brain embedded anymore. I have to make sure I check on all that stuff. Don't necessarily miss that part of my own kids going to school, but I do miss not knowing the days of things and when vacations are and all that with trying to help out. One reason why I don't stream the Tuesdays is because I'll be going, and they got Tuesday night practices. I'll be going to that and getting some video at times, and gonna do their individual pictures on the 31st of this month, so I'll be some busy times there here somewhat soon. And then when, like I said, October hits, that's gonna be a crazy October. I'm hoping I don't have to cancel any of my standard night streams in October, but from everything I've looked at, everything's on Fridays, Saturdays, one competition on a Tuesday, which I don't stream anyway, so hopefully. But being so busy, it just depends on what else I got going on at the time. If I can get into, you know, a stream, I'm hoping that, like I said, I don't miss any. And then we might restructure some of our stream nights. Once November hits, we'll kind of see. I know I'm doing a fundraiser for the band again, and probably be mid-November or so is when I'll have to get busy doing that. If we get a lot of orders like last time doing the tumblers, that's what I'm going to be actually working on more this weekend, is graphic designs for the tumblers this year. Going to keep one from last year, which is just the normal school cup name and logo, but I need to redesign a show cup, and I'm also going to be doing one for the Flag Corps Winter Guard. They want a special cup designed for them. Probably won't sell a whole lot of those because Flag Corps is a lot smaller than the band, but so I'll have all those. If it was like last year, I had 87-ish cups, tumblers to do, so yeah, it did spend some time. Now I got them done fairly quickly, but I was pushing, and basically every waking moment was working on those for the week, just so I could get them done and get other stuff going. 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, let me grab a drink real quick. We're about a half an hour in. And we are a little warmer in here tonight, so. But like I said, if a storm comes through, I want the cats to be able to come in. I know my little marble cat, she cannot stand storms. She will hide, and it's kind of crazy that, you know, fireworks don't freak her out, but thunder just makes her lose her mind. If it's just raining with no thunder, she's perfectly fine standing out in the rain. But she hears that thunder, boy, she just freaks out and wants to hide. Our old cat, Boomer, he didn't really care either way. He didn't really care for the storms. He'd rather be outside during a storm and find someplace to hide, but he was another one that, you know, if it was raining on him, who cares? Buzz doesn't care for the rain, but the thunder, lightning doesn't really faze him any. He'll just kind of sit there. It's like, he's getting wet though. He's like, I don't like this. Today's storm just got down here literally like 30 seconds before the rain started, and he was sitting out there with the thunder and stuff, and he was okay with that. But once the rain started up, he started walking in. As the rain started, he bolted in the rest of the way. He was like, then he stood there at the door, come on, hurry up, you're getting wet. But I had to close up the shed and all that to keep the rain out from it. I normally keep one of our sheds open a lot, so it's a tent shed type thing, because they like to hang out in it. And I normally try to keep it open if it's nice out, just so that it gets airflow and doesn't get too hot in there, because it can turn into a little oven. So I need to go out and close it up, and I was getting sprinkled on. He was just looking at me like he was worried that I was getting wet. It's like, I'm fine, boy. And then I still don't know where she was hiding. I knew Marvel was inside when the thunder started up, because we heard thunder and stuff for probably 10 minutes before the rain started. I come down here to see where she was at, and I could not find her. She normally has this little place up under my bench here, on top of some of my boxes on the other side of my bench, and she's got a little place. I actually leave that open for her to get up into whenever the thunder happens, because I know she doesn't like it. But she wasn't there today. I don't know why, and I still don't know where she was hiding. I looked around all the places I thought she would be, and I don't know where she was hiding. But once all of it stopped, she finally came out, and I was like, I knew you were in here, just didn't know where. But she likes to hide from it. I look forward to that cool breeze coming through, though. The next couple nights for us to hit down in the mid-60s. Overnight on Saturday and Sunday, I'm like, half tempted to camp out in the backyard. I like to go camping, but it's so hard to get around out there, and you know, the wife won't be home this weekend, so that kind of blows, so we can't really go and do that. But I don't know, I might kind of slide it out and just kind of hang out at night, put in the laptop, watch some movies, and do some chain mail camping. I don't know if I'd want to pull out. I mean, I got a bunch of firewood, and I could pull out the pit and have a little fire going, but I'll just be playing it by ear this weekend, I guess. It's going to be kind of a weird weekend. Normally, we always go out together, but they wanted to go head out to a zoo, and I was like, I just don't know if I can right now, so they made plans to do it without me, which is fine. I mean, I would love to go, but 3 days right now in the craziness of doing chainmail, and if I needed to pause doing a live stream to do something like that would have been good too. I would have been fine with that, but got the band stuff going on so much I want to get updated. I actually might get more done this weekend, just me and the boy being here, than everybody being here. We'll see though, who knows. Me and the boy might end up doing something. We'll see how it goes. I don't think it's been forever since we haven't left town or things like that, at least the wife and I, or as the family group. It's been a while since we kind of did separate things. I don't know. It's been years and years and years and years and years, so it'll be kind of weird not to have them here this weekend. I'll probably go insane before the weekend's over, though. I'll be like, this is just too weird. Like I said, parts I like, but I'm sure there'll be many parts that I won't. Hey Janice, good to see you. Hopefully I didn't. It says 1 minute to go. Any hail there? We did earlier today. It was about 4:30 or so, and then it stopped raining about 5:30, and we haven't had any rain since then. But we had some small pea-size hail. I'd say 1/4 inch hail for about 10 minutes earlier, around 4:30ish, 4:30 to 5, right in there. But then most everything, the rest of the storm seemed to more go south of us, so I could see it all out there, but we really weren't getting much here. Luckily it was kind of light, but the winds were going cuckoo, that's for sure. Boy, I hadn't felt the winds like that here in a long time. Blowing that wind around. Enjoy the peace. Well, I'm going to try. Like I said, it might be nice for a little bit, but I'm sure I'll probably go insane too. I'm kind of a creature of habit in a way, and when things change up, it seems so weird to me. So, well, like I said, I'm going to try to do a little something different. Just to, like I said, maybe just camp out in the backyard again. I got the little camper I could use, or I got my little cot tent. I love that thing. I use it for events sometimes too. It's basically just a cot, but it also has a tent that can be mounted to it. If I've ever got multi-day events outside and they allow it, I'll just camp out inside my little pop-up little tent thingy, because it's not very big. It's basically just the size of a smallish cot that has a tent on it. It's kind of neat though. I know the first time I popped it up at one event, it was actually at a campground event, to stay overnight. Everybody was like, "Is that for your dog or what?" And I was like, "No, that's my human tent." It's just, it sleeps one. Yeah, that's all. It's just a cot with a tent on top, basically. Actually, first time I used it, I was like, I wonder how that's going to work, and it actually worked out really well. I kind of enjoyed it in a way. It was a little muggy that weekend, first weekend, but I have a tent fan that I got for it, so yeah, it's kind of nice. So you can kind of pop it up anywhere, and off you go. Take the tent part off and use it as a cot to sit on and all that during the day, and then just throw on the tent top of it, and it all zips up together, and it's a neat little thing. I don't remember the name of the brand. I don't even know how there was actually, I don't even remember what I was watching one day, but I had seen somebody having one in the background of their video. I was like, yeah, that's kind of a neat little thing, and then it took me a while to find one. And then I think it was another year before I finally ordered one. They're not cheap. I mean, you can get like a 2-4 person tent that goes on the ground a lot cheaper, but it's a nice little handy thing. Alright, I've got 6 colors this time. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I enjoy it. It's fun to kind of, like I said, just throw up and be able to have a quick sleeping area. I mean, it comes with basically everything like a small tent would, a rain cover and stuff like that. It's got windows in it, and they have an extra large version of it, but I was like, yeah, I just need a small one. It's not like I want to hang out in it all the time when you're camping anyway. It's like most of the time you want to be outside anyway, and just use the tent for sleeping purposes, so it worked well for that. Now we have the little, basically it's a 2-person little camper. It's a teardrop camper, and the back opens up where you can put you a little cooking out area. You can put a little refrigerator, put your cooler in there. It's got a propane tank stove that can be used in it. I've actually mounted in a microwave, a small itty bitty microwave, but it kind of matches. It's kind of a retro microwave, and kind of matches up with everything. Little bitty one, just enough, you know, just in case, just to have it. There's a little bitty teardrop thing. Like I said, it sleeps 2. It's got little cubby holes on the inside that kind of, your feet kind of go under the area where the back would be for your cooking area, and enough to hold your stuff. Have a little, I normally just put the little laptop in there, and it's got, you can power it all up. It's got some inside lights and all that, so it's a neat little camper. Different than, you know, some of those other things like pop-ups are cool, but this I can just pretty much drive someplace or, you know, out back here, just open the door and off we go. Or just pull into a campsite and it's pretty much just ready. Unhook it and it's open, ready to go. I did buy some, what are they, bed trays for breakfast in bed type trays, little legs and stuff. I bought a couple of those that we put in there so we can do things on the table if you want us to be inside, if it's raining outside where you're camping or whatnot. So they can kind of be stored up in the front part if needed, when not needed. It's a neat little thing. I do like it. Wish I could use it more often, but with the wife's health problems, I have a lot less time to really get out and do that kind of stuff anymore. 6, 7, 8, 9. But, like I said, I'm going to do some graphic work on the band stuff this weekend, and hopefully in between times when I'm taking breaks from that, or vice versa, I'll probably be working on this most of the weekend. Just to get more done. I want to try to get past halfway before the weekend's out, so by the time we come back next week, we should be... there's 8 squares total for it, so I should be past 4 for sure, because we're starting 3 now. So I should be able to get past 4, if not into past 5. 5 squares, so like I said, I want to try to get her done. I'm ready to start working on my next picture inlay. Not going to say what it is right off the bat. Some of you have heard what I plan on doing for the overall inlay that I'm working towards, but there's individual pictures of several people. We'll kind of wait a few weeks or however long it takes for somebody to recognize what it might be, then we'll start posting the name of it once we get there. But I'm hoping that's the other thing I'll be doing this weekend, is finalizing up that order so I can get the rings in for it and have them ready and not have to wait for them. Along with other things, like I said, I've got this tutorials I want to get done for a few of these other smaller things I've got supplies for now, and then want to put together some other kits of stuff. Right now, if you're into the Evil Chanian, I've got enough supplies for 3-4 more of those. I'm having problems getting my spikes right now. They're out of stock of them, and it's like, I need to get them. I don't want to wait forever. I normally try to keep enough for about 10, but I've been selling quite a few of the Chanian kits here lately, so starting to run out of my spikes for it. Hopefully they'll get them here soon. But I do have some more left. I'm probably going to have to change the website and actually put a count on. Normally I don't put a count on things for limited stock, but that one I might have to if I don't get it. Them coming in soon. And there are other options. I could use some black spikes instead, but if we get to that point, I might have that as an option if somebody would rather have it that way, or you just go with the scale hair instead of the spiked hair. So that's the other thing I need to do, is I'm going to sit down and do up the superhero crew that I want of Chanians. I've got them all designed out, just need to sit down and do them, but they're about a 3 to 4 hour project per Chanian. They're not super quick to do, and I might have to make some slight adjustments to what I have planned for them, but that's about like anything. You have a plan for it, you just never know what might happen. Things can change once you get into it. You want it to look right, so I want to test them all, and then I'm going to actually add them to the tutorial that I currently have for them. And if you've gotten a tutorial in the past, I've got a list of everybody, and if you're on the website and ordered it through there, I'm going to update the file there. You can re-download it for the new version. Others, I'll email those out. And if I don't send you one, when I do, I'll put a notice out there saying that I've updated it. And if you don't get the new version, you can just send me a message and I'll get it out to you. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where are we at here now? 45 minutes in. Sweet. Yeah, last night actually we ended up streaming a good 15-20 minutes past our normal time, just because it was taking me so much longer to get done. I wanted to get still didn't get all the balls done right before I ended the stream, but I finished those up shortly after the stream. Got a few other things done, but then I had to. That's why I want more of a permanent area. There are certain things like that that I just won't leave out overnight with the cats and everything. If I had more of a permanent area set up for that, it'd be a different story where I wouldn't have to worry about them getting into it. Eventually that will happen though, about like everything else. I've had so many eventualities through the years, and eventually they do happen. I never thought, years ago when I started doing this as a business, I would have never thought I'd be where I'm actually at right now. I first started doing it just on my desk, and it's like eventually I need a workbench. I ended up getting a workbench. I'm going to need 2 workbenches. I've got another workbench. Now I've got 3 actual workbenches, then I've got 2 other tables that are kind of bench working areas where I've got the 3D printers and the lasers set up and all that. So eventually things do happen. It just takes a while. But it's like most things, I've been wanting to do a lot of things, but I like to take my time, because there are a lot of things I could just throw out there right now and start doing, but it wouldn't be half-assed per se, but I want to make sure I've got stock if it's things I'm selling. If it's a tutorial and stuff, I'm going to double or triple check all that stuff, make sure it's right before I release it. So everything always takes a bit longer for me. I rather feel more comfortable when I do something like that people will be happy with what they're getting and not have issues. Though, there's still issues that arise. Like I said, I've got Bobby, who's done several orders here over the last couple weeks too. And she just has a problem with PayPal on my website for some reason. I've looked and looked, and I cannot figure out why. I don't know if she's the only one, but 4, 6, 8. I've had several people that are having no problem. So it's like I've done tests, and I can't recreate the same issue she's having with orders. So that's one that we end up just processing through, find out what she wants. We'll set up the order on there, and we'll have it set up as mail the order in. But once that's done, I set up a PayPal invoice and send it to her. Then we go back through and mark the order paid, and so it's still in her account and all that to know what she's ordered in the past. And we just mark it as paid, even though it's through PayPal still. So that's what I was saying. If you ever have an issue with it, something's going a little weird and you're not sure, just give me a contact. We'll figure out a way to either one, I'll get it fixed. If it's something I can recreate and fix. If it's, something else, well, I'll just try to do whatever it can to make you happy for the most part. That's always my goal with my chainmail, is make everybody happy. I don't want anybody to be bummed out from anything I make or, ordering and all that. So I'm trying to make it good to go at some way or another. Try to figure out a way that you'll be happy and I'll be happy and we can all be happy together. I was going to pull out my pieces tonight for this, but I was like, I wanted to get more halfway so I can get a full side set up, which I could basically, but and then once my brass here, or my bronze, starts weathering and kind of getting more of a bronzy feel with some patina to it, it'll match the pieces better, because the pieces are more of a dark aged bronze, because it's bronze and silver on my pieces. So it might look a little weird at first, but I figure over time this will start getting a nice patina to it. I'm probably going to end up leaving it out in a way so that it'll because if I put it up and store it in my stuff, you know, it won't get much going that way. And it might be uneven that way, so I'm going to try to find a place I can kind of set it up and let it kind of naturally get there. I could, oops, why did I do that? I could, you know, use the fake patina stuff and get it to darken up quicker, but I'd rather it naturally get there. I think it'll just be better that way. But if somebody was wanting it and they wanted it to be aged quicker, I would be willing to do that to get it, you know, to the point where you like it. And like I say with everything else, just whatever you want, if I can do it, I will work towards that goal. Oh, sorry I didn't get to say bye, Janice. I think you've already left. But if you happen to watch it later or anything, it's good to see you again. Glad you stopped in. Like I said, you can just stop in and say, hey, that's all good. You don't have to stick around and watch an hour and a half of it, hour, whatever. You can just drop in and say, hey, and go on your way. You know, you got things to do too. That's how I do when I'm watching other people's chainmail streams. I'll try to get what I can. If I can stay the whole time, I will. If not, I like to at least drop in and say, hey. A lot of my people that I used to watch streams haven't been streaming lately, so that's kind of been a bummer. I need to find me some other streams that I can watch, so I can drop in and say, hey, I try to support my other chain mailers out there. You know, I don't want to compete with anybody per se. I want all chain mailers to do good and enjoy what they're doing, so like I said, I normally try to support them by their tutorials and kits if they have them. I've bought several stuff from other chain mailers too. Even though I could have done it myself, it's like, you know, I want to support them. Let them know, you know, try to get chainmail out there everywhere. As much as possible. As Sean over at Mailworks says, he wants to cover the world in chainmail. This is one that I definitely miss seeing. I got so used to watching his for several months there that kind of bummer when he had his computer issues and then, you know, family issues, but he's a good guy. So if you're into chainmail and you want some printed chainmail items, check out Mailworks. He does shirts and hats and shoes, and I think here lately he put on some light covers, switch cover type things. Supposed to be actually working on changing up some of his shirts. I want to get he's only got a t-shirt available in pink and blue for the Fire Flame 4-in-1 printed shirt. I got the blue jersey. I want to get the red jersey, and then I want to get a red and blue t-shirt to go along with it for multi-day events. I can have multiple things I can wear that are all still related to each other, so hopefully I'll be doing that. As soon as that happens, I'm making an order for 3 shirts and possibly another shirt for the wife. I need to talk with her and find out if she would like any of them that are available. But yeah, go check out Mailworks. They've got some good stuff. Sean over there at Mailworks, he's a good guy. Another one I used to watch was Joshua from Bracken Mail. Joshua Bracken stuff. He's out there in California. I know there's a lot of wildfires and stuff out by his place in northern California, so I think that's part of why he hasn't been streaming lately. I keep going to check and see and make sure that I'm getting notifications, because I was like, I used to, you know, a couple days a week catch his, but I haven't caught any here in about the past month or so. But, you know, everybody gets busy, more events coming up and all that. It becomes harder. I mean, he has used to do a Friday night special thing, but with events and stuff coming up, Friday nights are busy for the event people. Either you're vending already on Friday or you're setting up for the weekend on a Friday. And I know that's like Jennifer Martinez at Steampunk Garage. She's at an event every weekend, it seems like. I don't know how she does it. Now, younger, I might be able to do it, but the older I get, it's like I can't go set up every weekend anymore. That's just too much work for myself. I guess if I had helpers, it might be a little different, but, you know. And eventually, if I start doing some Renaissance festivals, that will be really cool. I know I do really well at them, but getting into the ones that are around here, at least the close ones, they're high dollar to get in, and all the extras you have to do to be there. I kind of like doing my other events where I don't have super special stuff. I don't mind doing the other stuff to get in the Renfest, but it's just going to be a chore. So eventually, again, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. It's one of those eventuallys. Eventually, it will happen. I want to start smaller and try to do a weekend at it 1 year for our local Renfest. Then maybe the next year, maybe try to do a couple weekends. And maybe eventually it'd be nice if I had my own, building and stuff like that. Then things would be a lot easier that way than doing tent setups all the time. Because, that's the chores, getting all the product out, then have to put it up every night to, keep it safe. If you had your own place that you could kind of lock up and kind of stay there with it, it'd be a different story. So that's why I'd like to eventually do it. But then getting into one of the buildings and getting into the contracts on those are quite a chore in themselves too. So, but who knows? Like I said, things can change all the time in a whim. Who knows? Some things can just work out really well, and you just got to jump on it when the chance arises. If there's ever anything like that, I normally try to jump in a way. I am cautious in some areas of things, because I'm like, I want it to work. I hate to do something that's not going to work and lose money on it. I'm always happy if I can break even so I can at least get supplies to keep it going on events when it comes to events, because if you get into an event, you're paying $300, $400, $500, $600 to get into the event. To break even, you've got to sell at least twice that amount, if not more. And if you don't, then you kind of ended up losing money out of the whole deal, and that's when it's like, ugh. Losing money, if you can at least break even, at least things can continue to move forward. When you don't break even, and that's when you're like, oh, that kind of puts a bite in doing future things. So, especially when you do this as your living. And thankfully the wife, before she had all her health issues, had a good job that kind of allowed me to do this, which was kind of nice, and at the time really wasn't necessarily needed. Now that she's kind of pretty much can't work anymore, I've had to try to make this work a little bit better and try to make more money into this. So luckily things have been going pretty decent, and always getting new stuff to keep going, so that's what we need to do. Alright, I think this is going to start on the third row we worked on during the stream, so we're moving along pretty good. 1, 2, 3. Get me a drink here though. Getting a little warm, a little stickier in here now. That door opened so long. Where are we at here? Just about an hour in, so we might actually close up a little early-ish tonight. I'm gonna get this row at least finished, I think. That shouldn't take half an hour. I don't know. I haven't really calculated. I've got my times down, but not per row for the most part, so we'll have to see how it goes here. 3, 7, 8, 9. But like I said, during the stream, everything is a little slower, and that's what I warn everybody about if they want to have something on a stream. And it will take me longer, just because everything, I'm normally a lot closer to it and don't have to worry about setting up cameras, and I'm not jibber-jabbering. Jibber-jabbering surprisingly takes up brain thoughts. Yeah, think of what you're going to talk about. Yeah, and then like I said, I'm constantly looking around, see if I got any comments, which I guess I should check real quick. I get so used to some days where I don't have any comments, I forget to look more often than other days. When I start getting more, it's like, I gotta remember. So that's always good when you get more people in here, and I guess it would slow down the mail work itself, but it would remind me more to check more often. I did get in some more supplies today that I'm going to have to go through. I'm going to try to get some kits made up of these and finish up the tutorial for it's going to be a free tutorial. And I don't want to say necessarily what it is. You've probably seen things like this all over. They actually sell them on Amazons and other places too. But they're a neat little thing, and you know, I can make them fairly inexpensive. So I figured I've had a few requests you can have kits for those. So trying to put together things. I don't want to make a paper tutorial because you can find out pretty much how to do them at a lot of places out there. I mean, when I first seen them, I was like, well, that's something that is pretty almost chainmail-ish, because it's not full-on chainmail. But I was able to find how to do it easy enough online, and I do mine a little bit different than the first one that I seen. And like I said, you can buy them pretty inexpensively just by themselves online, so a lot of people don't make them. But if you wanted to make a kit of it, like I said, somebody was asking, so I got some supplies. I'm going to get those all going and just kind of have some small kits of that. And that'll be one of the other things that I need to get added to the website. 7, 8, and 9. I'm going to have to get out some more rings here soon. The little buckets are getting low. But I got a lot. I made up well more than I needed. I just was like, oh, I'm just making them up, might as well. I'll use them for something else and eventually in something. That's how it all ends up working anyway. If I get too many of one thing, I'll eventually make something that can be used with them. If there's nothing that ends up coming up, I try to figure, I'll look up certain things going, this is what I have, this is what I can, out of my list of things that I've done out of my notebooks, which is one of the other things I'm going to do. I've got 2 big fat 5 sectioned notebooks that are pretty much stuffed with different weaves and stuff I've done throughout the years and little notes and stuff. And then I've got 2 smaller ones, got the same amount of pages, but they're smaller half notebooks, half the size notebook paper. And I've got one's totally full, the other one's about half full. I'm going to be converting those all into electronic files. That'll be a chore, I will say that. And I'll probably end up printing them out and putting them in one single fat notebook to kind of thumb through. But I wanted to have it searchable, so when I do want to look up something in particular, I can find it easy. A lot of my weaves, I've figured out, you know, how long it takes to do per inch. So if somebody's wanting a certain size, something or other, I can easily give them a quote by just pulling that up. Normally I have to look it up in the thing and then use a calculator real quick. It's nothing hard, but if it's all digital, I can pull it up a lot quicker, know my rate per inch of that weave. Much easier to put out a quote on prices if it's something that is not currently on the website. That's the other thing I'm trying to add to the website, is add a section where everything's kind of a standard size. If you need more because you want it to be a anklet, or if you like this weave, I don't have it in that particular weave in a necklace form, that you can add the inches to get to that and get the price without having to contact me per se. But like I said, I'd still contact you to verify everything before I start on it. Okay, 6, 9. You know, this is the second row of the third block of the chessboard. It's actually going to be moving along. Like I said, if I can just sit down and get some more time into it. If I didn't have other orders and stuff, it would be a lot quicker, but when I get orders, like I said, and that's priority over this. So, and I've been getting a lot more laser orders lately too, so I know there's kind of a chainmail thing I do, but on the side I kind of do laser etching. I originally bought the laser to etch my scales and stuff, so I could do my own scales and whatnot, kind of how I did my Batman checkerboard, and I've got dolphins and stuff I put on my own scales, things that you can't buy pre-etched. There are some pre-etched stuff out there, but I kind of wanted to have my own thing to do something whenever I wanted to, instead of having to try to order it from somebody and take the time and all that. But I have expanded on that, and now I'm doing tumblers and acrylic work with it. I'm doing cutting boards and glass mugs. I've got quite a bit of stuff, actually. I've got 2 rolly carts that have all my supplies for doing laser etching stuff, and then a couple boxes in here that hold my acrylics and whatnot. So it's been slowly growing. I almost kind of want to separate it a bit, but you know, it's easier right now to kind of keep it all together. If you actually go to my website and look under the branded section, I do everything I pretty much got right now is there. I've tried to brand it all for the racing team that I'm on, for Gran Turismo racing team. You don't have to necessarily look at the graphics and buy them that way, but if you find an item in there you like and you got some kind of graphic you'd like to see on them, again, drop me a line. That's how most of that stuff has been working lately on that too. So I was like, hey, I seen you have these cutting boards here, but I don't want it with your race team on there. I'd like to have this on it. No problem. You just let me know and we'll work up a graphic and add it. I've got 2 branded sections. I haven't added the stuff for the band stuff that I do. I think I'm going to slowly add that. I need to talk with them more and make sure, because when we do bigger sales for like the tumblers that I do for them for a fundraiser, basically I'm not charging for any of that, and we're ordering enough at one time that I can get it cheaper and everything, so they can make a good fundraiser of it. But I want to talk to them about having my other stuff that I currently sell, like the LED lights and cutting boards and stuff, where we could put that stuff on there and have it. And I still plan on, I want to see if they're okay with it, but doing like a 25% of all the sales from all that stuff outside of a fundraiser would go to them if they're good with it. So that's why I haven't added all that stuff to their branded part of the website yet. I still need to, we're kind of getting the full swing of it when we start getting some more band parent meetings started back up. That's where I plan on talking to them, see if that's okay, because last year they were talking about maybe doing some Christmas ornaments, some acrylic work with Christmas ornaments and stuff, and so I might try to put something together for that for them, put up the lights and whatnot. It'd be nice to be able to have a big old sale of all that, but I could spend, you know, if I give them tumblers and lights and all that stuff and they to go through and sell, I could possibly have more than I could do at any given time to have a reasonable date to turn around for them, since everything is kind of just me. Everything I do is just me. I don't have helpers. I mean, I got my kids a bit, can help on some things, but when it comes to laser work and stuff and the actual ends of it, you know, that'd be a little more for them. Then I'd like to rest on their shoulders, you know. They are older enough where I know they could handle it, but, you know, anything bad happens, I'd rather it be to me and they don't hurt themselves or hurt equipment and feel all bad that something got broke or whatever. And so I'd rather just do it all myself. Eventually, you know, I'd like to be able to grow and have a shop outside the home that I could do stuff at. Would be the ultimate goal too, where I could have employees and have help and all that. But yeah, if it happens, it happens. If not, you know, as long as I can continue making a living out of it and have fun with it, that's all that really matters. Might not make a ton of money at it, but, you know, enough to keep it going and still survive and live, I'm good. Like, I don't necessarily need to be famous as I get my... I didn't get a famous thing today on Twitch. Here lately I've been getting a lot, want to be famous? Blah, blah, blah. No. Do I want to be a millionaire? Actually, not really. Just to be able to survive and live decent enough. Would I like to have a bigger house? Be honest with you, in a way, yes, but in other ways, no. I'd just like to have a little more garage space, workspace at my current place, and I'd be plenty happy. I don't need a big old house. Our house is actually fairly small, and that's fine. I mean, kids are going to be moving on their own. Here's, one's in college, so she still hangs out here. The other one had the health issues and had a kidney transplant not too long ago, but eventually he'll be moving along too. After that, we'll have more room space. Not that I'd want to fill it up with my chainmail equipment, but I don't think I'd need a bigger house. Got a decent amount of land. I mean, it's not huge. We're kind of in the outskirts of the city, so I mean, we got neighbors and everything that are somewhat close, but I'm happy with it. I don't need no big old giant house with more bedrooms than I could think of and all that. It'd be too much. Especially with, everything I have to do around the house as is. If it gets much bigger, it'd be harder to I have to spend more of the day trying to keep the house clean than being able to get it into chainmail. Because every day, you got to do the normal household stuff, and that's pretty much on me anymore. I know the wife might be watching. I have no ill will towards her, but she has her health issues, so it's harder for her to do those kind of things. So pretty much all the housework is up on me to do. And like I said, I don't mind it. It does take away from other things. It'd be nice not to, have a little bit of help in that. Kids help some, and the son definitely helps on some things, but, he helps with some of the yard work. Daughter helps with some of the cat stuff and all that, but she's got a full-time job and going to college, so she's pretty busy and in all that, so I got a lot of extra work that I don't get a lot of help with, but it's part of life. Just deal with it and move on. That's what I try to do, is just get it done and continue. What are we at here? Iron 10. Oh yeah, it's only taking 10 minutes, and we're past halfway on this one. 7, 8, and we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, past 5 into 6, so yeah, we'll close up a little early tonight. We'll finish up this row before we close up and have a little bit of close down time. Last night we closed down super quick. I didn't get to show much of the stuff last night that we anodized during the stream. I wanted to, but actually, am I even in view here? I haven't really been paying attention to make sure I'm in camera angles. Last night I had kind of things pulled in closer, and really was no reason to move it because the equipment just stayed where it was, so kind of forgot. Make sure I'm in camera view tonight. So hopefully that's been alright through the night. Yeah. Some of those things you just kind of forget. I just start getting into it and gimmer gabber and putting stuff together, not thinking. 1, 2, 3. So we'll finish up this row and we'll call it a night. Let's go ahead and do some of my little spiel now. Just want to thank everybody again. I said at the beginning. If you stop by and watching now or later, it's all good. Good to have you stop in at least and give us some likes, give us some shares, get us out there to the people. You can find us on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. We're actually trying to get to 300 likes on Facebook. And then I'm going to do some stream giveaways. Those are all stuff. I won't mess with them right now. 2, 6, 8, 9. And again, with the orders, I want to thank everybody who's been placing orders here lately. It's been busy, but fun. I'll say that. I enjoy kind of, for an introvert, I kind of have fun chatting with people, but I do like the chats that are more one-on-one. Smaller groups is my forte. It gets too large. I always wonder now how I was ever a drum major in high school, being in front of everybody. I will say, on that front, I remember events in detail up to a point of me getting on the drum major stand and directing. Once the show actually starts, I don't remember what actually happened during the show. But I've got memories of leading up to shows, what happened after shows, contests, all that. But once I was on that drum major stand, I don't remember. Big groups of people have always been my, you know, I don't want to say downfall, just I get so nervous in bigger groups. It's one of the reasons why with a stream I was a little hesitant, because I was like, how many people are going to be watching me? But I was like, well, they're not in person watching me. They can make fun of me later on. That's fine. But being an introvert, in a way, I do enjoy chatting with people, and especially when it comes to chainmail. So I want to thank everybody that comes and hangs out, sees what's going on, sends me emails, asks questions. I get quite a few questions a week, asking this or that. Sometimes not even related to something I'm selling. They just know that I've said something, like if you have a question about a weave or whatnot, if it's something I know, I'll help out the best I can. If it's not something I can answer for you, I will try to find people that will help you do it. Get what you're looking for. I've sent people off to many different places to find things. Some things I can help you with on finding YouTube, some things that I've seen that might help. Other times it's the actual people. So I try to do what I can to help out people as much as I can, like I said. Got all that, and the last little group here. Kind of looking over here, what else? Actually, I guess our streams, we stream Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Try to do an hour and a half. Sometimes we're a little short, but I try to minimum get at least an hour in on a stream. I don't think there's other than one day that I had to cut it short by like 5 minutes of an hour, which did kind of blow, but things happen. But we try to go for over an hour, up to an hour and a half, depending on what's going on. Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, like I said. Mondays we do a medium project. Try to do something that we can kind of do over, a month period, working on it, mostly only on the stream, so you can see it all come together. Sometimes it doesn't happen, it just kind of depends. Wednesday night is small project night. I try to do something that I can finish up in the stream. If we're building a bracelet or keychains, could do some necklaces too. I just try to keep it within the hour to try to finish it up so you can kind of see it all. And then on Thursday night is large project night, something that could take a couple months depending on how much side work I get done on it. But also it's just larger inlays. Even though I work on outside of the stream, so they can get done a little quicker sometimes than our medium projects, which is a little odd, but it will happen. And on occasion we will throw in some other streams depending on what's going on, and if I got time to. But those are the planned nights for sure. So make sure to check us out, like and subscribe to our channels. I'll keep you updated on when we'll be on and all that. If you ever have any suggestions for anything to do with the stream, pieces we're working on, pieces we haven't worked on, drop us a line. I'm more than willing to listen to anybody's input, because you never know what could work well for you. I'm willing to listen to any of that just to get ideas too. I want to always improve everything I'm doing in every aspect of things that I do for the most part. So willing to take those. But we're on our last two rings here, an hour and 17, so about a good close-up time. I would kind of continue, but this will be a good point. I can get the cat situated before the storms come moving back in. Hopefully get Buzz his food and shot before that, because he can handle the storms, but he's always a little more hesitant when it starts making a lot of noise. So be best to try to get it done. But there we are on that there. I think it all fits in the screen. It's not a real wide piece. Like I said, let's see here, I'm about 4 to 18, so about 12.5 inches wide or so board. And we're into the third row of the third block. So I definitely get past halfway over the weekend for sure on this. And you can, I'll flip it over here. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it looks definitely odd from the backside because of the way the ring's set. That's when you do an inlay, you have to make sure you keep going the same direction at all times, because now my blocks look kind of, they're not so defined because you need them to lay the other way on the other side. So, but when you flip it around, you know, these two rows are thrown off by two, so it takes away from the square look of it. So you always got to make sure you're kind of working with an inlay properly and think about it before you really get too far into it. So again, I want to thank everybody. We're going to go ahead and close down for the night. I want to thank everybody that stopped by and watched us. Today is Thursday, so we won't be back till Monday night. I probably won't do a stream this weekend. I got so many other things going. But who knows, like I said, sometimes we might just do crazy streams, but we'll always do our 3 scheduled ones, so we'll be back Monday night with, hopefully be finishing up the Purple Moon. So you all have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.